So, CM Punk, we were touching on it earlier. Problem or
No.
legit savior? Or somewhere in the middle?
I think it's somewhere in the middle at this point.
I don't know, man. It's just every other fucking week now we're turning on the TV and, like Matt said, instead of talking about how wonderful Wembley Stadium was, we got fucking CM Punk choking out Jack Perry in the back.
It does stink that it always happens at a pay-per-view. Like the what was the All Out, right? Because it was called Brawl Out, right?
Yeah,
All Out.
but he also had some shit with what's his name recently too. After like a collision, wasn't he talking shit about Adam Page?
Well, that's part of the initial
ongoing.
Yeah, that's been an ongoing thing.
Ugh, I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I mean, CM Punk got AEW the second show. Like, I think that's pretty well documented. Maybe in the chat.
No, that's kind of what it is.
TNT wanted CM Punk to be a focal point of that show, and I think they got it because of him. Now, I could be wrong about that. Like I said, somebody in the chat, probably Kate, probably would be able to help me out more than that. But I think so. For that point, I mean, he's more savior than problem, but he's still a fucking problem.
Why is he the problem here?
Well, because when it happens more than once, and you're still the same party involved, despite whether you think he's right or wrong, there's an issue.
Pull your mic in front of you a little more, dude.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he's right or wrong because I don't fucking know.
There you go. Lift it up. Just lift the whole thing up. This whole stand. Just drag it over.
Thing. All right, here we
There
go.
you go.
There you go.
Hold that shit.
Talking sexy.
No, I just want to make sure we're hearing everything you say.
Talking
You know?
sexy.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Handsome Kevin.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I take it from the perspective that CM Punk is there because he wants to help.
Yep.
I don't think it's so much like that he's just there to wrestle. I think he's there to kind of just help the younger generation.
Yeah.
And I get how it can be frustrating, but CM Punk tends to get in people's faces while JR just talks shit on commentary.
So everything the last incident with Jack Perry, everything that I've come across says Jack Perry approached him. So CM Punk's just not supposed to go, oh, yeah, no, sorry, guy, we'll talk later. Like, if you're being aggressive towards somebody, you got to put it down, right?
No,
Stop it.
fair enough. Is that what happened? Do we know?
That's everything that I've read.
So, you're CM Punk, right? You're a huge megastar.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in this position before where you're the top guy in the company.
Right.
You should, I'm going to figure this out, but I wanted to chime
okay.
into
No,
this.
you're good.
You should know how to act in that situation. There's 81,000 people. It's not like this is like after Collision. There's 81,000 people in Wembley Stadium. It's a huge deal for AEW and professional wrestling, and it should be the highlight of the weekend, but all people can talk about is this. There has to be somebody, if it's not CM Punk, who can fucking step in and say, this is unacceptable. Mark Henry, Sting, Billy Gunn, Christian Cage. There's so many fucking people who have so much experience.
Even a contemporary, a Samoa Joe, a Daniel Bryan, a Bryan Danielson. They got to be like, hey man, come on, like.
But why is this going to be on like this in this situation in general? Why is this going to be on Punk? You know what I mean? Like, just as much blame is on Perry,
right? But I think it's your Punk is the senior there.
Yeah, you gotta. You got to factor age.
You have to read the room. You have to know that the time and the place to do this is not right before you go out. Because this happened apparently right after the Hook Jack Perry match, and before his match.
Right.
So, but what was the impetus for this? Like, what exactly happened?
I can't look it up because my fucking laptop is dead.
I think it was literally just from what I read. It was just like he bumped into him or something like that. So there had to have been something else because it was just
the glass deal is what I read.
The what?
The glass deal.
Yeah, so Asian Joe chimes in, and you're right. I thought Jack's comment about glass during the match was a bad decision. Yeah, he mumbled something about this being like real glass, because Punk told him not to use real glass apparently in another situation or some shit.
Oh,
yeah, but God forbid somebody fucking says don't use real glass. We saw it happen to Goldberg 20 years ago.
Right. So if CM Punk said that to Jack Perry, don't use real glass, and Jack Perry like spat in his face and said, this is real glass, fuck Jack Perry.
That's what he said into the camera.
Yeah.
He said, real glass, cry me a river.
That was it.
Yeah, then fuck him then. If CM Punk was trying to offer constructive criticism or like constructive advice saying, listen, it fucking... there's no reason to say it's real glass. People will believe it's real glass if you don't make a spectacle out of it and tell them it's not.
I think the big public perception though is that Punk is a problem because every time something like this comes up, it happens to be Punk's name. It's not necessarily his fault. Yeah. But his name is involved in every situation that's coming up. So people naturally are like, oh, fuck, now it's CM Punk now, and now he's throwing his weight around, which is not the case. Yeah. But every time there's an issue and CM Punk's name is involved in it, it's like, oh, what the fuck is he doing? But you got to read into it more. Yeah.
If he like kind of said it like constructively as like, I guess, because I don't know if he's like kind of like in charge of, I don't know if he has more like roles other than being a wrestler there. I'm assuming he does just because of who he is. But so, like, if he just said it constructively, then Jack Perry's an asshole. If CM Punk went to him and be like, hey, fucking rookie motherfucker, like, don't say it's real. Like, depends on how you say it, too. Like, if he just completely just went up to him and said, hey, don't fucking say this, you fucking noob.
Yeah, so Justin Anderson chimes in. Punk telling Perry what to do in his match when Punk isn't in charge of creative or signing the checks, I think, is Perry's issue. And that's probably what it is.
Yeah, but he wasn't... Don't use real glass. Right. I don't think someone needs to be told that. I don't think there's something...
Yeah, but you're looking at guys in the locker room that are always like, oh, we have creative freedom. We can do this and we can do that. That's why like 15 people are bleeding every week on a fucking show and everybody's diving off through tables and shit because there's no fucking control. And CM Punk, as an elder statesman there, tries to just throw in his advice and everybody goes, well, fuck you.
But I also think the fault is on AEW's end because...
100%.
Yep. CM Punk shouldn't be in that position where he has to deal with the problem.
And if he's in that position, back him up. Like if you want him to take charge and help out, that's fine. But fucking back him up. And you're absolutely right. This all lands at the feet of Tony Khan. Tony Khan's got to get either do it himself or get somebody there to have some balls to get everybody in fucking line.
Well, so sorry to cut you off, Kevin. There shouldn't.
Don't make me forget this.
Jack Perry should have never crossed paths with CM Punk because there should have been someone waiting for Jack Perry when they came through the back to say, "What are you doing? Like you can't fucking." It's 0 hour. It's free for everyone. Yeah. Everyone's going to see this. People are going to talk about it. You're making a mockery of your fucking self. Yep. There needs to be someone to stop that. So there's never this situation with CM Punk. It's fucking stupid. You're all adults. You're getting, it's 81,000 people who are going to make a fucking boatload of money.
Yep.
And here we are playing fucking baby games. Stop.
So just to go back to the whole thing about like, it's not CM Punk's responsibility. But like, if you look at WWE, like the whole point of AEW is to have a mixed roster of veterans and young people. So if Undertaker went up to Jack Perry and said, "Don't say it's real glass," are you telling me that Jack Perry would go out there and say it's real glass? No, the fuck he wouldn't. Of course not. If John Cena went up to Jack Perry and said, "Hey man, just lay low. I know this is what you're planning on doing. Just a word of advice for someone who's been doing this for 25 fucking plus years." Or however long Cena's been around, don't do this. CM Punk, like Matt said, has been a top guy everywhere. If CM Punk is just trying to offer his advice to Jack Perry as a good veteran, as an elder statesman, like a Jericho, like a Joe, or a Danielson, or an FTR, or even, for fuck's sake, a Bucks or Omega, then Jack Perry should have the wherewithal in his fucking gut, in his mind, to not do something that a veteran said not to do.
Well, yeah, and some of that, like, sometimes... in my mind, at least, they're like, "Hey, don't use real." Like a vet tells you, "Don't do this." He's helping you. Like he is trying to.
Yeah.
Bad shit can happen. So, and for him to turn around and be like, "Oh, you were trying to help me. Fuck you." That's fucked. That's just fucked.
And again, we don't have all the information, but just based on what we've read, that seems to be like the most concise thing that I can deduce in my head. Yeah. Is that Punk probably offered him. So how would Punk hear about a fucking 0 hour match like plans?
Because how would he hear? There's time between like there's a lot of filler, right?
So do you think he overheard in between the matches? Hook's match was first though.
Yeah, but that was 0 hour, so we end 0 hour. I didn't watch 0 hour, but I'm assuming as soon as 0 hour ended, there's like that 7 to 10 minutes where they hype up the show. You got to order now because we're going off the air in 7 minutes, and you want to see him. Punk Samoa Joe's going to start the show, whatever fucking sockface says, and then and there's that time, and people fucking talk, man. Yeah. Like someone could have been like, "Did you believe he fucking said that?" And word travels fast,
I'll tell you. Tony, I'm sorry. And Kevin, you could probably speak to this a little bit more. I'm telling you right now, 7 to 10 minutes in Gorilla is a fucking eternity.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's a fucking lifetime. I heard people kind of like chiming in on this on social media saying, well, 10 to 15 minutes isn't a real whole lot of time.
Oh, yeah,
And
it is.
fucking Gorilla, it's a freaking eternity.
Oh, yeah.
It lasts forever. So news travels so freaking fast because everyone's in the same space. Like, it's essentially social media in, like, one room. So, like, it's gonna get back to somebody that... Now, if that happened and it got back to Punk, did Punk have to do something? Probably not if it already happened.
Right.
But, like, if he told him this beforehand, and then he still said it anyway, it's totally different ball games.
Yeah, but even if Punk hears that and Jack Perry's coming back, you gotta say something at that point.
Of course you do.
Because you let that shit go and it's just
Then,
gonna keep
though?
happening. You know what? Maybe Punk knew he had 7 minutes to fucking do something.
Yeah, but he's not he shouldn't
I understand.
be...
I understand, but he's been put in that position, unfortunately.
And he likes that, right? He
Of
likes
course he
the
does.
controversy. He likes
Of course
to
he
be
does.
the center of attention, but...
He's probably of the mindset right now is like, they're gonna fucking hate me anyway. I might as well just feed into it. And unfortunately for Jack Perry, he fucking gave him the opportunity to do it.
But people are getting so invested in the shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody gives a shit about the product on TV.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true necessarily.
Every week, somebody
it gra-
got sent home. Somebody got in a fight.
Fair enough. It grabs the headlines, but then again,
Yes, it
that's
grabs
at
the
the feet.
headlines.
That's at the feet of Tony Khan, man. That's
Right, but that's what people want to sink their teeth into. Versus Collision being an excellent wrestling show that people should be talking about. They're talking about, did you hear Ryan Nemeth got sent home because CM Punk doesn't like him? Did you hear Keith Lee got sent home because he showed up and they didn't need him? Like, it's nonsense.
Right.
Like, still, it's just that's.
Yeah,
just
but that's the shit that gets the clicks, man.
I understand,
That's
but
the shit
that should
people
not
wanna-
be
I get
what
it.
AEW is known for.
I get it.
Right, but that's more on the feet of of the news the outlets, like the dirt sheets.
Oh, they're gonna run with it, dude. That's
Yeah, of
that's the nature of the business. That's what they're gonna run with. The other thing is, like you mentioned, like Undertaker, John Cena, and whatnot. The problem is, there's not enough of those guys in this locker room to band together. There's just not.
There's plenty of them, Tony.
But they're not the majority, dude. The majority is fucking
No,
Kenny.
the problem is that they can't get along with each other. The veterans don't get along.
But the people in charge, they're fucking EVPs. It's Kenny Omega, it's the Bucks, it's Nakazawa, it's fucking Cutler, it's all their friends and all the buddies that they bring in from New Japan, and it's all the young guys that look up to those guys. So like, even if it's like, I don't know what Christian's attitude is, but he might be in fucking JR mode and go, you know what, fuck this, I'm getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Mark Henry might be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm getting a paycheck.
Yeah, what about Chris Jericho? He has to go out there
Yeah.
every fucking week and work with these people.
Yeah, like Jericho's the guy to me. Or if you just want to like really like scare some people to fucking death, just have fucking Big Show and Mark Henry address the fucking locker room and just be like, if this happens again, you're fucking with me.
The problem is, though, with Jericho is Jericho wants to be one of the young guys. That's why he surrounds himself with all the young guys and all the groups, because he wants to be the cool guy in the locker room.
No,
like,
he does
hey,
not.
let's try this. I'm
don't think
telling
he-
you,
I don't
man.
think he
I
does
think
at
he
all.
wants to be around the young guys because he elevates them.
Jericho does it the right way.
3.0 would not be in the position they are in now if they weren't with Jericho and the JSA.
The fact that 3.0 even signed with AEW is mind-boggling to me. And I like those guys.
Yeah.
But,
Look,
who are they?
Yeah, Santana and Ortiz don't get the big return last week if they're not in the inner circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? They were a great tag team. We were pumped for them, proud and powerful when they came
They
in.
didn't really need the inner circle, though, dude.
No, but there was no when
It didn't hurt 'em at
when
all.
AEW started. They were nowhere because it was Lucha Brothers, it was Best Friends, it was the Young Bucks, it was FTR. Like the tag team division was stacked.
Wait, when they first started?
Well, not FTR, but SoCal Uncensored.
Yeah, what's their...
Private Party.
Yeah.
Private Party got a win over the Bucks.
I know. Action Andretti got to win over Jericho.
But there were all these other tag teams, and they just felt.
What about
less-
the two dudes with the afros? Are they together again?
I don't want to guess who
Who
you're
the
talking
fuck
about.
are
The young guys. They're kind of pale looking.
you
One brother was hurt, and he got
Top
better.
Flight?
The other
Are you
brother-
talking about Top Flight?
Maybe.
Yes, someone's hurt. They blew their fucking knee out at the Ring of Honor final
Because
battle.
nobody tells them to fucking slow down.
The crazy table spot.
Jericho's like, yeah, jump off everything. What the fuck?
Yeah, Dante
Well,
and
see you
Darius
later.
Martin.
That's the ones, the Martin boys. There you go.
Yeah, the Top Flight.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember the one dude. He's got like the fucking almost like the Kid and Play afro. It's like sticks all the way up.
That is Dante.
That's him.
Yeah, but
Am I wrong?
But
You're not wrong.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not full on Kid and Play.
But it's halfway there.
It's getting there.
It's like Kid and Play had a kid.
Yeah.
And they
And
played.
play. Yeah, there you go.